They classify them as a tree saver. You see this one's doubled, eh? I use it for a tree saver, but 99.9% of the pulls this one will do, or this one will do, are frames. Because they're doubled, the sharp edge of a frame isn't as likely to cut it as a single. And this is the single. Although it's wider, and I have used it for frame pulls in a pinch because we've been out of straps, you'll see it starts to cut, right? So this strap isn't really used in my kit anymore. I carry it for last ditch, no choice effort, I'll wing it. But it's not a primary strap, and it's because it's been cut. And it's the frame does it. We all use a tree strap around a tree anchor point so that our winch cables don't cut into the bark. And if you haven't experienced it yet, and you do one day happen to take a steel cable and wrap around a tree and hook it back to itself, you're doing three things against you. One is you're weakening your anchor point, okay, by over half. So if your cable's rated at 10,000 pounds and you hook your Snatch back to it, you've just knocked it down to 5,000 pounds, thereabouts. How heavy is your rig? Right? And then how deep are you mired? Right? And guess what? You're going to kiss a cable. The other thing that happens when you wrap that steel cable around a tree is it digs into the tree. Okay? And in all likelihood, you're not going to get your cable out of it. Okay? That's why we use a tree saver. The tree saver also works for hooking up
so it didn't kill a tree.
a Snatch block. Okay? Why would I not use a Snatch block hook now? Can anybody tell me?
The safety release is busted.
Bingo. I brought it today for a demo. This is a very early style of Snatch block. It works, kinda. Okay? You got too many moving parts. And when we're in snow like this, and quite often you're in deep snow, because you're not at a park. You're out wheeling on some trail that nobody else has been on. And you start pulling this pin, and then this little pin falls out in the snow, and you go, shit. Now you're on your hands and knees and you're trying to find it. And you're stuck, or your buddy's stuck, and it's -30, and you're in the snow trying to find that pin.
You should explain what a Snatch block is,
Right.
Mike. You should explain what a Snatch block does, or what it is.
Okay. So this old school,
You guys.
20-year-old Snatch block isn't really what we're using anymore. But I bring it for demos. Here are some of the new styles of Snatch block. And you can see their design. There's no pin you're going to drop in the snowbank. Or the big mud hole at Safari Park. This one here is a new generation as of the early 80s. Okay? I got into a habit when using these, pull pin, put in the pocket. Not on the bumper, not in the ditch, not on the dirt. Put it in your pocket.
Same with shackles.
Yeah, because no matter how you try, a twig isn't going to hold that together. All right? You could use a bolt, a grade 8 bolt in a pinch, but I guarantee most of you don't have them. A Snatch block, or the pulley system, gives you a couple of advantages with a winch. You'll hear lots of people say it doubles your pull. Unfortunately, it does not double. You are going to gain roughly 2/3 of a pull, because for every wheel we use, we lose a percentage of your pull. So you hear lots of guys say, well, an 8,000 pound winch with a pulley on it or a snatch block on it will give you 16,000 pounds. Sorry, it doesn't work that way. You're going to get close to 12 on your first wrap. After your first wrap of winch line back on your winch, it drops and drops and drops. So you're going to gain a little bit of pull. The main advantage of a pulley is getting that winch line out. If your buddy is stuck at 50 feet away or 40 feet away, and you pull up 40 feet of line, you're going to have approximately 4,000 pounds worth of pull on your winch. But you put a strap and a snatch block on them and run that cable back to your truck or to a tree or to an anchor point, you're going to gain not only the distance of power with the winch line coming off, well, fewer wraps on your winch, you're going to gain the advantage, the mechanical advantage of the pulley. This will also allow you to set up a directional pull. I don't know about you guys, but in my many years of off-roading, I think maybe 1 or 2 pulls, I've actually had an anchor point directly in front of me. Most times they're off somewhere because you're not trying to drive through the trees, you're trying to get around them. And that's usually when you get stuck. So 90% of the time, your anchor point, yeah, my snatch block is over there apparently somewhere. The tree is in your way, your vehicle's here, your anchor point's here. I'm going to show you today how to use a snatch block and a couple of straps to do a directional pull. Another handy toy to have, because just about everybody has a tow hitch on their back of their rig or a secure anchor point. I pack one of these because about 70% of the Ford, GM, and Dodge owners out there that get stuck in a snowbank, on the side of the road, coming off the lake, doing a little ice fishing, they have the receiver mounted on the truck, but the idiots don't have nothing to put in it. I don't know why. They got a huge truck, lots of room. They don't carry one. So I carry one as a spare. I can also use it on my Jeep. I'm going to show you a trick today with just a receiver hitch and its pin. Okay? And a double strap. When all else fails, you can use the pin and the receiver, and you've got it. Nice, secure, safe hookup point to get them out of trouble.
I forgot my other
The
boxes.
clevis is a super handy piece of equipment. It'll also kill you. Plain and simple. No other way to put in it. This one I'm going to pass around is 8.5 ton rated. It's about 5.5 pounds. Pass it around so everybody can feel it. Ha!
Difference between a clevis and a shackle.
They are the same creature.
Oh.
Okay.
I thought one of them had threads and one didn't. Like this one is threaded.
Primarily,
Does
yes.
that matter?
I prefer threaded. Okay. The unthreaded pin style, I'm not a huge fan of. Is two more moving parts, right?
Right.
And a pin that you drop. And then the guy's trying to shove a twig in it to hold it. This clevis on a broken strap will go through the back of a pickup truck like it's not even there. Plain and simple. It will go through the back of your seat like it's not even there. It'll go through your best friend's head like it's not there. It'll go out the window and it'll wedge so hard into the tree 40 feet in front of the vehicle that it took the RCMP officers 4 hours to get it out. We do not put a shackle and 2 straps together under any circumstances. Period. I don't care. And if I'm ever out on the trail with you and I see you do it, my size 10 boots can be so far up your ass, you're going to need sneakers on your ears to walk. Okay? It's dangerous. And we see guys do it on the videos all the time because they haven't been taught how to put 2 straps together.
Can I interrupt for a second?
Yep, go ahead.
There's this guy here too. He's got a pin that comes out. Real handy, right? Except for one thing, you're only supposed to use these for straight pulls. So if you're pulling 2 straps, it's not made for that. Do you know what I mean? Like if you had one here and then one going that way and one going that way, it's trying to tear this open. So these are only for straight pulls.
Good to know.
Not very handy. Just brought it for fun.
Well, it's a good demo though. Yeah.
I didn't know that. I learned stuff too.
You see guys do this all the time on the trail. Because they have a strap that's not long enough.
Oh. Even him demoing it.
Don't ever do it. That's asking for damage. That's asking for injury. It's just bad practice all around.
And also 2 clouses together.
Yep. That is just a lethal. You might as well put 6 rounds or 5 rounds in a 6-shooter. Play Russian roulette. Because it's not a matter of when, or how, or with, but when it lets go, if you're in the line of fire, you're dead, or severely injured. You'll see guys do this. Don't ever do it. That's asking for damage. That's asking for injury. It's just bad practice all around.
And also 2 clouses together.
Yep. That is just a lethal. You might as well put 6 rounds or 5 rounds in a 6-shooter. Play Russian roulette. Because it's not a matter of when, or how, or with, but when it lets go, if you're in the line of fire, you're dead, or severely injured. You'll see guys do this. I'm going to use a tree saver because I'm too lazy to pull that whole strap through. It works. Nothing wrong with it. But I'll guarantee you, you put
You're never going to get it undone again.
Stuck and a 5,000 pound truck pulling it, you're never going to get that undone. Okay? And I've seen it lots of times. The guy pulls the strap out of the trail, he's got 2 permanently together. Okay? You know what they've done? They haven't used the crevice. I give them kudos for that, but they've buggered their straps. There's a trick. It works really good. And unless you're in the middle of the Sahara Desert, they're all around you. Okay? A stick. A good branch, piece of wood. I've been known to grab an 8-footer. Because it isn't going to go anywhere, right? And stuff it in. For lack of stick, I use my hatchet handle just for demonstration purposes. We don't use a hatchet, by the way. But we're not using the hatchet, this is a stick, okay? Just forget the hatchet part. Believe it or not, that's going to hold. A decent stick will hold about 25,000 pounds because it's so close. Even a half-assy rotted stick will get you out of trouble. We've done it.
Grass.
That's another way of doing it. I'm going to show you that. So you can't find a stick. You're not carrying, I usually carry a piece of hardwood. I don't have it today. Then we're going to go back to the cinching part. And today we have not much grass. But I'll give you just go find some grass. Lots of it. Big clumps, handfuls of it.
You think a glove would work?
No, because that's going to get tight. And you stick a whole pile of grass in here. Then you do your recovery. Okay? And the strap is pulled around the grass. You can pull the grass out. It loosens the strap off, and now you can get the strap apart. And that is actually my preferred method. And I've been on the trail with some long-time wheelers, and they see me go grab a handful of grass, and what the hell are you doing with that? It makes a great recovery tool in the right location. You've probably heard talk of the Kinetic rope or the Kinetic strap. Does everybody understand what the word Kinetic means? Anybody not understand so I can explain it? Kinetic. Are you familiar with a bungee cord strap? Same idea, only hardcore busy. It stretches. This one stretches about 22%. And then it comes taut, and then it retracts. So you not only get your vehicle moving and the kinetic force of your vehicle on the go, you don't get a shock load. You're not pulling your dentures out of the teeth, out of the steering wheel, okay? Your body that's stuck, no find? Yeah, it's in there somewhere.
Not on the hard pack.
What's that?
Not on the hard pack, and it didn't snow that much out there.
No.
You'd be able to see it pretty easy.
Yeah, I think I come through that where I was on my front bumper, I think.
Oh, it could be anywhere.
Yeah. It'd be in that area. The kinetic rope stretches. Kinetic strap stretches so you don't get a shock load. This is a tow strap. Does everyone understand what the word tow means? The vehicle isn't stuck, it's broken. Okay? And you just want to get them from here up to the shop. You use one of these. This is a tow strap. I often get a kick out of guys and gals out there using a tow strap for recovery, and you see them back up and then gun it. And the vehicle comes to an abrupt stop, and they pull their dentures out of the steering wheel.
They do it again.
And do it again. Or the bumper lets go and just misses the guy by inches. Okay? This creates such a shock load. It's phenomenal. Think about it. You get a 5,000-pound vehicle moving 10 feet at a good pace. The kinetic force of this strap coming dead stop, no stretch to it. Whatever is anchored to is either A, going to come out of the hole, or B, come off the mount. Period. Right? Your shackle that you have hooked to the back of your vehicle with this strap on isn't rated for those loads. It's not designed for that.
I watched the guy start to do that. We were out wheeling together, and I said, "Don't you dare!" And he started doing it. And I just told everybody around, "Get the fuck out of the way."
100%.
Move. He broke it. It was a 40,000-pound strap, and he broke it like it was not even there.
Yep. And it's just a little tiny guy, right? But it's speed and the kinetic force.
The other thing you can't trust is the welds on your bumper.
Bingo.
Was it the Nightcrawlers guy that had the bumper come off?
Yeah.
Yeah, right here.
Welds broke. Is that you?
Yeah.
So,
It wasn't just the weld. It was when it was installed. The little bolts that are really hard to get out of the bottom, they went too hard. So they didn't do it.
ironically, the guy that was pulling it out was the guy that helped me put it.
Could have been a very bad day though. There was people standing on the bank. I was videotaping from the other side, and Jeremy could have had basically his whole side of his face taken off.
Huge lesson learned.
Yeah, we all learned a lesson that day.
That was out by
Bruder.
east side of Bruderheim, yeah.
Yeah, it was a close call for a lot of us.
In your little goodie bag, you should have the axe. Been around for centuries in many different forms. It will get that tree out of the mud that's held you up. It will get the stick wrapped up between your axles out of your way. Okay, the axe is super handy. Not only that, it's put firewood. For when you're so badly stuck you can't get out and you need to light a fire, well, help comes to get you. The axe is a very handy tool. This is Smittybilt's finger cutter. It has some cool little tools with it. But not for a real size clevis. Okay?
Can you show us the axe you used as a kid? You know, the rock tied to the stick?
Oh, I left it at home. But it works for these ones.
That's lost for the Snatch walk.
And you'll find most of the times, you know, your buddy has got it on there with a screwdriver and you can't get it off. That's what that's for. Also has a wheel wrench for their other
They're handy.
tool.
Yeah.
This little pointy end is the best little ice pick I've ever run across. And when you're snow wheeling and the guy has got the vehicle in the creek, that little bugger actually will take ice out really quick. It is the handiest little tool I've ever had.
Is that the one with the hollow handle?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's got a wannabe
Fishing kit inside it.
fishing kit.
Yeah.
And it has a little compass that I wouldn't trust, but it's got a compass.
You know,
It's waterproof, I think, too, so you can put matches and shit in there
I
too.
got some matches in there.
Yeah.
I'm a smoker, so I carry a lighter. I can get a fire going with a battery and 2 pieces of wire. I'm not worried about it.
Actually,